All right. So, not gonna cap. I never did a live movie review before, but I'm gonna do it today because I took a lot of notes last night for Scream 7. I'm going to share these notes with you all tonight. So, first of all, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm a person where I don't like to shit on franchises and talk down on franchises or anything. I'm not gonna do that. But I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna be biased or I'm not gonna be different. Because honestly, I don't like jumping the bandwagon when it comes to movies because it takes a lot of talent to make a film. So I'm gonna tell you the notes that I wrote for the movie, and this is a spoiler alert. So this is spoilers for Scream 7. So again, if you haven't seen Scream 7, please don't watch this video. But if you've seen Scream 7, I need you to tune into this video and share this video. All right. So first of all, this was not one of my favorite franchise. This wasn't one of my favorite movies at all out of the Scream movies at all. I did not like this Scream movie. I was not impressed about this. I wasn't happy about this. I just really wish that this movie was better. But it's just a lot of shit that just occurred in this film that I just didn't like at all. And hold up, hold on for a minute. Had to change the title. All right. So first of all, I'm gonna start off with the opening scene. The opening scene to me was really, really weak. It really wasn't a good opening scene. Honestly, feel like the opening scene could have been a little bit better. And I'm very disappointed in the opening scene because I honestly feel like this movie was like rushed. It's been several ways that the script has been rewritten, and unpopular opinion, I grew up on Scream. I grew up on all versions of Scream. So when we have the original cast of Dewey, Gail, Sydney, that's who I remember. That's the trio I always remember growing up. That's the trio that I'm gonna support. However, when Sam, the Carpenter twins came into 5 and 6, Sam and Tara, I'm sorry. When Sam and Tara came into 5 and 6, I was really impressed about their character, especially with one of them being a love child of Billy Loomis. I really liked the element of that right there, especially the New York element. It was a really, really different take on Scream because these 5 and 6 was the most brutal versions of Screams. The killers really had some pretty cool motives. Like, okay, cool. One of them, the killers was a copycat killer. He was infatuated with all of the killers, and then boom, whoop de doo. Then we had a psychotic chick that was infatuated with the killers too, but she was way more demented than him. So then the sequel we literally had the family of the copycat killer coming back. Cool. Then the sensitive culture we live in, people want to fire people because we want to make opinions. As human beings, we're given a right to the First Amendment. So with Melissa Barrera being fired, I honestly call bullshit because she shouldn't have been fired. She didn't deserve to be fired. But regardless, I'm a Sydney, Gail, Stu, Billy. I'm just a fan of all those characters. So we already knew Stu was gonna come back in this movie. We already knew this was gonna be a Sydney movie. We know it was going to focus on Sidney Prescott because when you think of Scream, you think of Sidney Prescott. When you think of Halloween, you think of Laurie Strode. When you think of Chucky, you think of Andy Barkley. When you think of Hellraiser, you think of Christy Cotton. So at the end of the day, with these movies, you're gonna know about the key characters as in the movies. You're gonna know the major characters that be inside the movie. So that right there kind of did disappoint me because it's focusing on Sydney. So let's talk about the opening kill. The opening kill in the movie to me really wasn't. as good as it intended to be in, you know, previews and stuff. But the opening kill didn't have a motive. Y'all went to Stu Marker's house or a model of Stu Marker's house, and then you killed these two random people who had nothing to do with the story just to make a name for yourself. So it's like, are you messaging? Are you fucking with Sydney to tell her that you're back? It was just stupid. All right, so first off, let's go on my notes. The boyfriend reminded me of Cotton. Like Tatum's boyfriend literally was reminiscent of Cotton Weary. I shit you not. That kid reminded me of a younger version of Cotton. If you look at Cotton in Scream 3, Scream 2, Scream 1, you're going to see that that character is literally inspired by Cotton. So that would have been a pretty cool twist if he was like kin to Cotton or something, and he ended up being a killer. But the boyfriend trope is already played out in movies like, oh, it's the boyfriend or the new boyfriend. That trope has been played out before with Sydney because the first movie, her boyfriend was the killer. The second movie, I think the boyfriend or somebody that liked her was the killer or a friend, whatever the case is, somebody close to you, that's always the killer. Number two, the movie is slower than the other screens. This movie is very, very slow. It's slower than all of the other Scream franchises. It really wasn't fast paced. It was a very slow sequel movie. I wasn't impressed. I was like, holy shit, this shit is fucking slow. This shit's boring. Um, I wrote opening wasn't the best. Part four, one, and five had better openings. Okay, cool. And of course, spoiler alert, one of the killers is Carl Gibbs. Who the fuck is Carl? Carl Gibbs. That's like a fucking random name to whatever. Now I ain't gonna lie to you. The person who could have been the killer, the person I hated the most who should have died in the movie was the damn theater teacher. The theater teacher was a dick. He was an asshole. I don't know, bro. I feel like we need an eighth movie because it's too many loops in this movie between the opening act, then the teacher being an asshole. I really hope that they could kill off the teacher because the teacher was an asshole. He talked down to Tatum about Sydney being his mom. I mean, Sydney being her mom, and then this, that, and the fourth. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really, really, really hope that it's a deleted scene or extended version where he's dead because he really wasn't a fan of that guy, but he would have been a really good killer because he's like he knows Sydney. Cool, you could be the uncle of Stu, or you could be the uncle of Billy. We can go with that. We can go with that. We could have went with that. I would have paid for that. We could have went with that. We could have bought Billy back. We could have literally bought Billy back. It would have been fucking awesome if we would have bought Billy back. It would have been awesome if we would have had Sam and Tara meeting Billy. I mean, not Billy, Stu. We could have had Stu Marker back. Stu could have returned. He could have possibly returned because he was in a mental institution. So if he was in a mental institution under John Doe or whatever fucking story they said, that would have made good sense. It was a believable plot. I would have believed it because did he really die? Shoot him in the head. He wasn't shot in the head. We know Billy ass was shot in the head, but Stu really wasn't shot in the head. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I really would have loved to see Stu come back. I would have loved to see Stu Marker, the actual Stu, not no fucking AI, come back. The Meeks twins wasn't annoying in this movie. God knows I hate the fucking Meeks twins, so that's a plus. The mom and son was always the suspects to me. I already knew the mom was the killer the moment she fucking stepped foot on the fucking screen. I knew Carl was going to be a killer because he just gave away that creepy vibe, but their motives was severely stupid. Gail finally got her interview. I think that was one of the best moments in the movie for Gail to finally have an interview after 6 movies. She finally got the interview Sydney. I think that was one of the best things in the world. And I'm glad that Tatum was named after Tatum from the original movie, the chick that died in the garage. I'm kind of mad at Patrick Dempsey, who had some scheduling issues. He didn't return. Although Patrick Dempsey was damn good in fucking Thanksgiving. I would love to see I can't wait till Thanksgiving 2 come out. But we had Joel McHale to come to do the role. I really, whatever. I do see in my notes that Billy Loomis's daughter is mentioned. I feel like we should see a return. Who knows? Let bygones be bygones. Look what happened to Jonathan Majors. Jonathan Majors just got forgiven, and he's going to be cast in movies now. Really hope he's in some upcoming Avengers movies. We're humans. We fuck up. We make mistakes. Especially if you're a new known actress or actor, people are gonna dig a dirt about you. Yet we have way worse people in this world who are still in movies and been in movies for years. So I would love to see Sam and Tara return. Honestly, the killers was funny. This was a funnier scream because the killers in this movie were funny. They were like very Scooby Doo like. Like if you watch Scooby Doo and Scooby Doo was a horror film, this is the very accurate description of this film because it's literally yes. Sydney daughter. I'm gonna say this. Sydney's daughter Tatum isn't like, how do you say it? She isn't like Sydney. Sydney's daughter literally reminds me of Laurie's daughter and Laurie's son in the now non-canon Halloween films. They didn't carry that spunk. Only character that's, I don't know if she's canon or non-canon, is Ellen Ripley's daughter. Like Ripley's daughter. I like Ripley's daughter in the Alien Isolation game. I heard it was canon. That was the only, this is the only character I know in horror franchise history that was literally like their mother. But Sydney's daughter, I don't know. She ain't no Sam or Tara, I can tell you that. Now the cameo of Killers was pretty awesome. I'm sorry. It was pretty awesome to see Mrs. Loomis to return. It was damn good to see Roman to return. It was pretty dope. It was dope as hell. It was really dope to see Dewey to return because, originally in Scream, and in some of the Scream movies, one of the Scream movies, Dewey's supposed to be the killer. So that's why they made a parody of that in Scary Movie #1 with Doofy being the killer. Also, go watch Scream 7, guys, because Scary Movie 6 trailer is actually coming out. And I think this is going to be one of the best scary movies next to Part 2 and next to Part 1. I'm ranking it Part 2, Part 1, and Part 6 are going to be the best scary movies because, bro, this is a really good year for movies. And I feel like Stu's still alive. I don't know why I feel like Stu is alive, but I feel like they're going to find a way to erase this fucking film from our brains and find a way for Billy to be alive. I really feel like Stu. I need to stop getting them confused. I really feel like Stu's still alive. I don't know why I feel like Stu's alive, but I feel like Stu Marker's alive. If Stu is alive, man, holy shit. Because it's gonna be a way for them to delete this fucking atrocity of ass trash that was written from us. Sorry, the director of this movie wasn't even a writer of this movie. The writer of Scream wrote Scream 1, Scream 2, and I think Scream 4. He didn't write or touch the other Screams. He directed this shit. He should have been the writer and director of this movie. He should have stuck to this original script. We could have found a way to make bygones bring Sam and Tara back, but no, we ain't want to do that. The ending was good. Shooting the killer in the head was epic as both Sydney and Tatum both shot the bitch in the head, and her head just came off. Like, it was crazy. It was pretty gory, but it was in. But speaking of the killers, killers, I hate how do you describe it? Let me see an accurate description. Two scenes. This is the knife, right? Two different scenes. The killer just raised up the knife to kill the victims. The first part of the movie, the chick died like that. Then they had another scene where the girl was swinging off from her death in the theater, aka paying homage to Scream 2, where the killer literally had the knife launched again, and I thought that shit was fucking lame. Like, the penis knife kills just was stupid. Like, oh shit, I'm on hard. Boom, you die. I didn't like that. You use the same fucking kill move twice. I've never seen that happen in the history of horror movies. That has never happened in a horror movie. If it's happened in a horror movie, comment. The killers had no motive. The killers had no motive at all. Like, I don't know. But I'm always the easy guy for Scream or movies, but I'm a fan and I support the series, just like I support WWE, just like I support Marvel and etc. Every single favorite movie of ours is going to have that shitty franchise. Aliens had, to me, I ain't gonna lie, I liked all the Aliens films, but I didn't like the AVP films. Predator was good, but I didn't like the last movie, The Predator. The Predator sucked. So every movie franchise has that one shitty movie. Friday 13th had Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday. Nightmare on Elm Street had that fucking shitter called, fuck what Nightmare on Elm Street movie it was. The movie when they killed Kincaid. When Kincaid died in Nightmare on Elm Street 4, or 5, I was pissed. I thought that movie was shitty with killing Kincaid. Once you killed one of the best fucking characters in Nightmare on Elm Street, I was pissed off. Leprechaun Go to the Hood. Those was actually no, Leprechaun in Space was shitty. I like Leprechaun in the Hood. So every franchise have a shitty film. But my rating of Scream 7, I'm gonna give it a 5.5 out of 7. I'm sorry, a 5.5 out of 10 because I honestly feel like the movie could have been better. It's fucking Scream. You could have made that movie so much better. Fuck the AI shit. I could tell that this script was quickly written because that's all AI is. And I remember a documentary where I recall Kelvin Williamson had at least 6 or 7 screen films written. So if he already had the screen films written, how come y'all gave us this shit? But hey, bro, it's to each his own. But hey, I don't know. I just hope that Scream 8 could just delete this shit and wash it out of our mouth. It's like, when you detox and you drink some detox or drink some kombucha, then once you take a shit, they cleanse it out your body. This is the detox version of Scream. Get that shit out of our system. Let us start off just, bro. I don't know. But make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.